You have 8 minutes and 20 seconds before your world ends. Not from a war, not from a disease, from something we're about to do right now on purpose. Look up, go ahead, that thing keeping you alive, we're ripping it out. And replacing it with the most violent, most extreme, most alien objects ever found in the universe. One by one, to see what happens to you. And here's the rule, every single time, no matter what we drop in, you get 8 minutes and 20 seconds of perfectly normal life. That's how long light takes to travel from the sun to Earth. Birds are singing, your coffee is warm, you have absolutely no idea. Then the first photons from the new object arrive, and everything changes. By the end of this video, we're going to replace our sun with the supermassive black hole at the center of our own galaxy. Let's begin. Chapter 1, White Dwarf Sirius B. Let's start gentle. Or as gentle as a dead star can possibly be. This is Sirius B, the sun's entire mass crushed into a sphere slightly smaller than Earth. If you scooped a single handful of this material, you'd be holding roughly 3 African elephants. Not a metaphor, that's the actual density. When it replaces the sun, it appears as a piercing blue-white pinpoint in the sky, 120 times smaller than the sun. The world doesn't end in fire. It ends quietly in cold. The sky deepens to indigo, and for the very first time in human history, you can see the Milky Way in broad daylight. Here's the detail that genuinely moved me because a white dwarf is a perfect point of light, not a disk. Every single shadow on Earth snaps to razor-sharp precision. Zero blur. Tree shadows show every individual leaf as a crisp silhouette. It's hauntingly beautiful. Temperature drops to minus 172 degrees Celsius. Oceans freeze within weeks. Carbon dioxide literally snows out of the atmosphere, and yet life survives. Deep ocean hydrothermal vent communities powered by Earth's own internal heat keep going indefinitely. An ice world with a beating heart, a diamond shining in a dark sky. This isn't science fiction. James Webb has already photographed a real planet orbiting a white dwarf. White dwarf worlds exist. Chapter 2, Neutron Star. Now we go somewhere darker. A neutron star takes 1.4 times the sun's mass and crushes it into a ball just 20 kilometers across. If the sun were a basketball, this object would be a single bacterium sitting on its surface. A bacterium that somehow weighs more than the entire basketball. In visible light, it glows dimmer than the full moon. So when it replaces our sun, what you actually see is the most beautiful night sky of your entire life. Stars from horizon to horizon. The Milky Way stretching across the daylight sky. Serene, breathtaking, peaceful. And the entire time you're being cooked alive by X-rays, 250,000 times stronger than what the sun gives you right now. The ozone layer is gone within days. Your DNA is being actively destroyed. The most beautiful sky you have ever seen is simultaneously the most lethal environment you could possibly stand in. That contrast kept me awake at night. And there's one more thing nobody talks about. The gravity of a neutron star bends spacetime enough to create an Einstein ring, a glowing halo of warped starlight visible through binoculars floating around the star's shadow. Background stars bend into arcs, split, merge, flow as Earth whips through its orbit. It's one of the most alien sights imaginable, and it's just there in your sky. I need to tell you about the man who first calculated all of this. In 1930, a 19-year-old named Subramanian Chandrasekhar was sailing from India to England. He did the math aboard the ship. At the Royal Astronomical Society, the most famous astrophysicist alive stood up immediately after him and publicly called his work absurd. The room erupted in laughter. Chandrasekhar left England. 48 years later, he won the Nobel Prize. NASA named its flagship X-ray telescope after him. The very telescope we use today to study these stars. Science doesn't always reward you when it should. But eventually, reality wins. Chapter 3, Magnetar. Let me tell you about March 5, 1979. Soviet Venus probes and American nuclear detection satellites simultaneously picked up the same signal. For a brief, terrifying moment during the Cold War, both sides thought a nuclear weapon had detonated. But it wasn't a bomb. It was a magnetar flare from 50,000 light-years away, and it was powerful enough to ionize Earth's atmosphere from across the galaxy. A magnetar is a neutron star with a magnetic field a billion times stronger than the most powerful magnet ever built by humans. Get within 1,000 kilometers of this thing and your nerve impulses stop. Your atoms deform into cylinders 200 times narrower than normal. Chemistry becomes impossible. You don't die, you dissolve into a cloud of individual atoms, but here's what nobody expects. At the sun's distance, the magnetic field drops to roughly 30 nanotesla, 1,000 times weaker than Earth's own field. It wouldn't move a compass needle. Everything that's coming, all of the destruction, it's not magnetic, it's radiation. Beneath the surface of a magnetar, matter exists in a state called nuclear pasta. Scientists literally named it after Italian food gnocchi, spaghetti, lasagna because the shapes match. 10 billion times stronger than steel. And then one day a starquake cracks it. In 2004, a single magnetar flare released more energy in 1/5 of a second than our sun produces in 250,000 years. At the sun's distance, that's 850 billion nuclear bombs all detonating simultaneously. You're dead before the signal reaches the back of your retina. The atmosphere doesn't burn, it vaporizes. There is no dramatic last moment, no final breath, just nothing, the most sudden ending imaginable. Chapter 4, Betelgeuse Red Supergiant. I want you to picture the sun. Got it? Now imagine something 764 times bigger. A star so enormous its surface extends past Mars deep into the asteroid belt. At Earth's distance, we aren't orbiting it, we are inside it. Here's the fact that broke my brain. At Earth's depth inside Betelgeuse, the gas is 10,000 times thinner than the air you're breathing right now. A cubic meter of it weighs about as much as a single mosquito. You are inside a star and it's less dense than the upper edge of our own atmosphere. But the temperature is between 10,000 and 50,000 Kelvin, and in every direction, every single direction, all you see is an impenetrable wall of glowing light. No sky, no stars, no horizon, no darkness. No day, no night. Just eternal, uniform brightness surrounding you completely with no reference point anywhere. And this is the part that gets everyone, it's not red. Betelgeuse only looks red from outside because of its cool outer shell. At Earth's depth, the plasma glows blue-white. You are trapped inside what everyone pictures as a red star, and it looks nothing like that from where you stand. There is something deeply unsettling about losing all reference points. No shadow, no direction, no sense of scale or place. Just light, forever. Chapter 5. Wolf-Rayet star WR102. This one is my personal nightmare. WR102 packs 16 times the sun's mass into half the sun's radius, smaller than our sun but 500,000 times brighter. Surface temperature of 210,000 Kelvin. Only 709 of these stars exist in our entire galaxy because they burn so furiously they survive just a few 100,000 years before exploding. This is a star in the final moments of its life, and it is absolutely furious. The weapon is the wind, 5,000 kilometers per second, 1.7% the speed of light, fast enough to travel from New York to Los Angeles in under 1 second. This wind carries the entire mass of Earth every 10 hours. At our distance, it's 100 million times denser than the solar wind we experience today. Earth's magnetic shield collapses to just 240 kilometers altitude. There's nothing left standing between you and what's coming. And the sky, I couldn't stop thinking about what the sky would look like. The ultraviolet radiation causes atmospheric nitrogen and oxygen to fluoresce. The entire sky burns vivid purple and violet. The stellar wind itself glows. Earth orbits inside a visible, luminous blue-teal nebula, and you can watch the wind race past with your naked eye. It's the most breathtaking and terrifying thing you could ever witness. What Mars lost to gentle solar wind over hundreds of millions of years, this star does to Earth in minutes. Surface temperature reaches 59,000 Kelvin. Rock doesn't melt, it vaporizes instantly to plasma, the most violent, most beautiful sky ever witnessed, and the last thing anyone would ever see. Final chapter, Sagittarius, a supermassive black hole, and now, the big one, 4 million times the mass of our sun. The supermassive black hole at the center of our own galaxy, placed right where the sun used to be. Earth now orbits it once every 4.4 hours, flying at 430 kilometers per second. And time, real, actual, measurable time, slows down for you. For every hour on Earth, someone watching from a safe distance experiences only 57 minutes and 36 seconds. Your clock genuinely runs slower than everyone else's. Over a single year, you fall 2 full weeks behind the rest of the universe. 2 weeks of your life that the cosmos never experienced. The ground never stops shaking. Magnitude 9 earthquakes constant. Kilometer-scale tides reshaping the landscape every 4.4 hours. The surface is never ever still. But the sky. That is why I made this video. A perfect black void spanning 23 degrees, 47 full moons placed side by side. Surrounded by a blazing Einstein ring of bent starlight, stars don't disappear behind it. They swirl, they stretch. They split at the edge of the shadow and merge back together. The approaching side blazes blue-white, the receding side deepens to dark red. It is gargantua from interstellar but real, in your actual sky, enormous. In 1979, a French astrophysicist named Jean-Pierre Luminet fed equations into an IBM mainframe using punch cards and hand drew the result in India ink. People assumed Luminet, which is French for light maker, was a pseudonym because the image was too beautiful to be real. 40 years later, the Event Horizon Telescope photographed a real black hole for the first time. It looked exactly like his drawing. And then there's TON 618. A black hole with 66 billion solar masses. Its event horizon stretches 1,300 AU across. The entire solar system, every planet, every moon, every rock swallowed whole. A human body at the horizon vaporizes in 300 nanoseconds. The universe has created objects so incomprehensibly large that our entire thought experiment, the sun, the earth, the orbit, all of it fits inside just one of them, not near it, inside it. That is the universe you actually live in, and somehow knowing that I feel less small, not more.